Men, despite their numerical strength, whereby Uganda's population is 51% is women and 49% is men, despite that kind of percentage, when it comes to the voices of women in the media, who gets quoted, who is seen or heard in the media, research has shown that women constitute between 20 to 24%. The rest of the voices are representative of the male gender. So that is really very unfair in the sense that if women are more, and they also contribute to the national development of this country, they also have needs. Why would it be that the media gives them less space? So that is one of the things that drove Uganda Media Women's Association to start the different media tools and also training, particularly the media, in gender responsive reporting, but also train the women in how to speak and express themselves and also deal with a media that is usually a little bit hostile to the women. We would wish that the media in Uganda is at par with a percentage that is representative of women. That is why we keep saying half the population. Women are half of the population. We should also be half the media. We should be provided media or space on radio, television, print, online media. We should also be provided with 50%, and that is all we're asking for. The government of Uganda has within their own powers to make this happen. But when you look at media laws, they are also gender irresponsive. We did a study, we analyzed the media laws, and we found that the media laws in Uganda are not women friendly. Because if they were women friendly, if the Ministry of Gender, which has got the mandate to ensure that the laws and all the actions are gender responsive, if they had the capacity to do that, then we would not be talking about half the population quota the media space.
Okay, so that research
since 1995 from the Global Media Monitoring Project. It came as a response of the 4th World Women Conference that happened in Beijing in 1995, where the situation of women in the media was critically analyzed. Then the people who were at that conference and they were coming from the media fraternity, they said that they have to start monitoring or assessing the media on how they are covering women and also assessing how much space is given to women and men. So since 1995, this research has been going on every 5 years. So the first one began in 1995, second one was in 2000, like that. And that is globally. So it's like about 200 countries can participate, have been participating in that research, including Uganda. Uganda has participated in that kind of research since 2015, and us as Uganda Media Women's Association, we are the focal organization who actually assess the media in Uganda and share the results that we get from Uganda, and we share them with our Global Media Monitoring Report. And it forms part of the world study. So that is done at that level nationally. But as you are looking at the current situation right now, we also apply that particular tool. It is a tool like we have all done research, isn't it? There is a tool that you develop to assess whatever you want to investigate. So that tool is called the Gender Media Monitoring Tool, whereby it was formulated globally, but you can still adapt it to your local situation. So we have been using that particular tool even when the elections of 2016 were done. We applied that tool, and study or the results are similar. Still, women are not there, 26% against 74%. And when the women are represented in the media, they are also negatively portrayed. Yeah.
Okay. So we are still on the same study.
Like I've told you, from 1995, it has been done every 5 years. The most recent one that was done in 2025. But the result shows that, there has been a little bit progress. I told you at the beginning in 1995, we were 19 against what? Against 81 for men. Yeah. So later on, we came to maybe 21, 23, 2025, we started flatlining. So there is no progress. We have stagnated. So there are still many factors that we have to interrogate.
Does government hate women?
That is a very big question. Government doesn't take an initiative to do that. You are very much aware that the government of Uganda, under the Ministry of Gender, they have the national gender policy, but it is never implemented. Okay? And when you go to Uganda Communications Commission, you will ask the Ministry of Information, do they have a gender policy? They do not have. Okay? So it is up to small organizations like Uganda Media Men's Association who do some kind of training. Tomorrow, maybe the other year, they do training for media in gender responsibility. And again, there is no what is called, no such thing as called the national strategy to mainstream gender. We have come up with a national strategy, but it has to be owned by the government of Uganda. So those are very many processes that you have to go through. So for me, my take is that the government maybe they don't have adequate capacity, maybe they are not excited about engineering the media. It's up to them to answer that kind of question, because it starts with the law, and then you get the resources to operationalize the law, gender law, whatever, but they have not. Okay. And the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is one of the least funded ministries in the country. So they keep on talking of, we don't have capacity, we don't have enough resources in the life. And also, the journalism curriculum is not gender responsive, isn't it? So if we can set, we could make a difference, but it's not gender responsive. Maybe Uganda Christian University and a bit at Makerere University, where they have an option for a few individuals to do gender.
Radio station. We celebrate a vision that has endured, a platform that has amplified voices, often left unheard, and a commitment to ensuring that women and communities have access to information, expression, and participation. When Mama FM was established by women journalists who recognized the need for a different kind of media space, they were responding to a gap that remains relevant today. Too often, women continue to be underrepresented in media, whether as sources, as experts, decision makers, or storytellers. Yet media plays a powerful role in shaping public opinion, influencing policy discussions, and defining whose experiences matter. This year's theme, Half the Population, quote exploitation remains unfinished business. While progress has been made, the reality is that women are still less visible in news content, less represented in leadership positions within media institutions, and too often portrayed through limiting narratives. I also talked about the general pushback against gender equality, which is one of the things that Mama Umwa and Mama FM have to deal with. But closing the gender gap in media is not simply about numbers or visibility. It is about voice, influence, and power. It is about who defines issues that matter, whose perspectives shape public discourse, and who gets to tell the stories that influence communities, policies, and societies. For 25 years, Mama FM has demonstrated what is possible when women claim and lead media spaces. The station has given women and underserved communities a voice, enabled them to share their experiences, access information, and participate in civic life. It has helped to bring attention to issues that affect women and communities, including gender-based violence, while creating opportunities for dialogue and engagement. This contribution is significant because access to information and opportunities to be heard are fundamental to empowerment. A woman who has information, who can express herself, and whose voice is valued is better positioned to participate in decision-making, claim her rights, and contribute to shaping her community and country.
They go out and tell the world what we have been talking about today. We have them. Yes. Some people have introduced themselves, but I'm not seeing their cameras. So basically, if we don't have those cameras, we may be losing out on the publicity of what we are doing today. And now going is very important in our lives. It can tell us the positives and it can tell us the negatives. And most times it's timely information. Because the little I know about media, they don't report about my own. Not so. They report about the current. So for you, the consumer, if you really actually upright, you can use information from media and you act timely. Media actually does educate us and tell us what they, maybe the woman, what they want us to do, what they know, what they want us to act upon, and the kind of impact in the lives of the people. But it is so crucial that we talk about statistics and quality, because it gives us a measure of where we are and where we want to go. The other thing I want to say about media is you talked about, when I was reading one of your scripts, you were talking about what, this is what I want. One thing which I noted about gender and equity issues, that there is a lot of people do, both men and women. But there is a lot of positives which go unreported. Do you realize that? You know, like my mother once watched Bukede so much, but you know, you see, bam to take takaki, bam to take bam you see what? But I always ask myself, where is the positive which can bring smiles on people's faces? There are so many women, number of women and men and people like disability like me, who have done so many important things in this world, but very few of us are quoted. So by not being quoted or a lot on the good practices which can impact the generations and generations.
Half the population, what are the steps? Mama FM moving forward. Mama FM moving forward, and we are not giving up despite the challenges that we've gone through as a radio station. Why Mama FM? When we look at the population of Uganda, we see that we are about 45 million people, and the women are 51% against the men who are 49%. The research that was done by the Global Media Monitoring Project last year, we found out that the results show that women only account for 23% in the coverage when they are quoted as new subjects and also as new sources, and also the men stand at 77%. So we see Mama FM deliberately coming into this media space to close that gap. So when Mama FM was born, we see that in the late 2000s, when Mama FM was born, there was exclusion of voices in that media. We found that, especially women and the other groups, when it comes to the radio reach of, by then in the year 2000, it was only at 90%. And newspapers were standing at 5.5%, TV at 6%. Maybe 2000s, radio, yes, was still on air, but then Mama FM came up, women-owned media radio station. And during that time in the 2000s, still we saw that the percentage of women sources was at 20%. Even the people working in the media, women and working as radio presenters was at 15%. When it comes to newsroom management, the percentage was still very low. So Mama FM came up to bridge up that gap, because currently we are working with both men and women and giving equal opportunities to both men and women in our newsroom. So, this journey of Mama FM, how did it start? Like Madam Margaret had already made the introductory remarks. In 2001, a group of young female journalists came up to form a media house that is focused on women and other marginalized groups. Why? Because even when there were other media outlets, these groups were not getting the information they needed to change their lives. So in 2001, Mama FM was formulated by a group of female journalists. In 2001, why was it formulated? It was formulated for women, by women, for everyone who advocates for gender equality and social justice. Was formulated so that we can give free air for people to express themselves free of charge, freely, without any discrimination or isolation. And the other side, yes. Why? Because these people, the people that we are serving, are seeking for information. Are they seeking for information? Can they speak? Can they listen and act? And also, at Mama FM, we do not charge prices or costs for people who want to appear on the radio station. So it's a free to air platform for each and everyone to express themselves. Next slide, please. So before the radio station was founded, a feasibility study was done in 1998. And in 2001, Mama FM exactly went on air. And all this was done with the support from the Norwegian Council for Africa and Focus. Mama FM currently is managed by the Uganda Media Women's Association. slogan that was selected for the radio station is the voice to listen to. Why? The mother, the father, the children at home can listen to Mama FM. So it was the voice to listen to so that communities could reflect on whom we serve. Any girl who is tuned in and has a health problem can get a solution to that related to sexual and reproductive health. Dialogues on different issues in the community. Our audiences can get the information that needs. So we see that Mama FM is a very powerful tool for equality, civic participation, and social change. So that's the slogan that we are promoting. And the vision of Mama FM is lesbian women and other marginalized groups freely express themselves and impact decisions. And our mission is to see that we enhance the capacity of women and other marginalized groups so that they can effectively participate and use the media